Hey everyone, it's your girl Lily, and today, well, tonight, it is after 6 p.m. Tonight I am going to be seeing It Chapter 2 with my friends. I have been wanting to incorporate some more horror review kind of stuff here on my channel, so I thought that it would be fun to do like a come with us while we watch this movie kind of vlog kind of thing. So I hope that you enjoy this different video from me. I am really looking forward to this video. I have heard mixed things about it. I've heard both that it's amazing, and then a friend of mine also mentioned that she fell asleep in the cinema when she watched it. So I'm hoping that it's gonna be awesome. I am pretty stubborn though, and like I will love anything that has to do with Stephen King. And it also takes a lot for me to not enjoy a horror movie, so I will probably love it, but yeah. But yeah, as I said, like I'm super looking forward to this movie. I really loved the first one, like It Chapter 1, I really enjoyed that, and I do enjoy the original one with Tim Curry. That movie is the reason that I am terrified of clowns, fun fact. Yeah, and as I mentioned, I love anything to do with Stephen King, so fingers crossed that I'm gonna love this movie, but we'll see. Cool, so I will check back with you all when I am with my friends at the cinema, okay? Hey everyone, we're here. This is Kim. This is Jake.
Yeah, hello.
They are my bestest friends in the whole entire world.
She's okay.
As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be seeing It 2 tonight, and I thought that it would be cool to kind of talk about everyone's expectations, see what we're hoping the film will be like, if we think that we're going to like it, if we think we're going to hate it. Yeah.
Should we start with what we thought of film 1?
Yes, good idea. What did you think of film 1? We'll go on to
That's fun.
yeah.
It was your idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so for it, number 1, I thought the thing that stood out the most was that the CGI was very disconcerting, or disjointed, I would say. So it was hard to take it seriously as like a horror movie. It was more, sometimes it was like a tween drama, and at other times it was trying to be a horror movie, but with too many special effects. And so my take on that one was like, it was a decent drama, but not very good horror. I'm critical.
She is very critical.
I kind of like that aspect where it was primarily a drama and had horror aspects, but that's because I watched the original one and I always thought of it as a drama. And didn't, like, I knew it was like based on horror, but I think you go in the mindset that it will be a drama with horror undertones and not it's going to be a big horror movie. It's more enjoyable.
Totally. I think that that's also kind of a lot of things with Stephen King's books, is that a lot of the time they're kind of more suspenseful and more of a thriller than a horror. So it makes sense that that's kind of how you guys would feel about the movie.
Like I've seen a lot of Stephen King movies and that, and like none of them really were scary to me.
Yeah.
They were very just like suspenseful.
And then more about like the psychological side of things.
Yeah.
Like I think of Carrie. I've seen the remake, and I should probably watch the original, but that was more like about the character going into like the downward spiral, rather than like the horror of what her powers can do.
Yeah, totally. I think that the only book or movie that I think is actually scary could be Pet Sematary. So what I thought of It Chapter 1 was that I enjoyed it in the moment. I think that though what made it scary for me at the time was that we were watching an interactive one. And so
highly recommend. It was great.
It was.
I should have had a camera to take photos of you.
Yeah. At one point I did try to climb over you to get away. So I should explain. The interactive viewing was basically someone dressed as
kind of like that.
So they don't touch you. Yeah, so what an interactive viewing is, there was someone dressed as Pennywise. Are you
mean to me? No.
There was someone dressed as Pennywise in the theatre trying to spook everyone. And I believe I mentioned earlier, the original Pennywise is the reason for my fear of clowns. So that was fun.
He sat right next to her and had a big grin. A group of guys behind us were laughing so much.
I screamed and tried to climb over Kim to get away. Good times.
I was laughing.
She was.
Me too.
Yeah. But yeah, so I did enjoy the first movie. I kind of liked how they mixed the like comedy in with the horror stuff. And I thought that the kids were really good actors.
I think the kids were the highlight.
Yeah, they were like
So it's
definitely the best. That's like, I don't remember much about the first movie, honestly.
I remember the kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the kids
yeah.
is like pretty much what I remember.
It's going to be interesting how they're going to do it too with adults and not bringing back the child actors.
Well, they might come back in flashbacks or something like that, but it won't be focused on the kids. But hopefully it'll be just as like endearing. What did you think of the first movie?
Well, I didn't realize we're actually talking about the first movie, so I don't remember anything.
Well, what do you want from the second movie? What
Yeah.
are you expecting?
Expecting for the second movie, expecting some kind of horror. I don't know, I don't really have any expectations. Like, I saw the original It TV drama, so I kind of know what happened, but I don't really remember. I don't know, I don't really have any theories. I didn't watch any trailers or whatever.
So you're
just
kind of going in with a clean slate.
Basically.
Yeah. No expectations.
Yeah, it's just like, whatever.
if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't.
If I don't, I'll rant about it for 3 weeks.
Fair. Fair. Do you have any expectations for this movie?
Not really. Basically what I said about it being very drama focused. And I also know someone who's seen it and then they said that there's a lot more suspense in it. So more, you don't want to look but you kind of have to kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which apparently like there wasn't very much of that in the last movie. So it looks like they upped the ratio between drama and CGI and made CGI a bit more predominant than it was before. But otherwise, I'm just expecting clowns.
Yeah, lots of clowns.
And lots of laughing.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I'm hoping is they don't do any jump scares, because I just
They
think it's a
will.
sign of a bad movie.
I know, like
There's gonna be jump scares.
Yeah, there's gonna be jump
100%.
scares. So, like, I agree. My opinion is that a movie that focuses too much on jump scares is kind of phoning it in.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's not scary.
Like
so
The
much
Nun.
as it is- Yeah.
The Nun with jump scares you couldn't even see.
Yeah, right? It was
Um,
horrible.
You're like the Weeping Woman. Yeah, which was called the Weeping Woman, but it had a Spanish name. But
Like Aliona?
Yeah, it was Curse
La Llorona.
of
La
yeah.
Llorona.
Yeah,
we're really white and we're Australian, so we apologize.
Curse of the Weeping Woman.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot for me to not enjoy a horror movie.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'll probably enjoy this movie. And then later on I'll have some more, like,
Critical.
yeah. But in the moment, I tend to enjoy horror movies. And especially, like, I really enjoy Stephen King stuff, and I'm very stubborn, so if I am determined to like something, I will.
I mean, she says that, but she didn't like Pet Sematary, the remake.
It was shit!
We could say a lot about Pet Sematary.
So I guess hopefully it too is better. Oh, we've got like 7 minutes.
Okay. We'll
Any
talk.
last words? Anyone?
Hopefully it's good.
Good.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. we will check back in with you all after the movie. Hopefully it's good.
Goodbye.
Unless we don't survive.
Okay.
It's 12:40
It is.
12:40 a.m.
Yes.
It's It's late.
That was a long movie.
Very long.
My motto after that movie is, I came here to be scared, not to cry. I cried.
So which part was the part that made you cry?
When Eddie died. Because I loved him. Comic relief. And then, like, the bit at the end when they were all like, we're losers, we're friends.
Yeah, that was really good.
Really?
Emotional. I am a sucker for, like, a good friend trope.
Well, I thought it was...
I mean, I can definitely see there were parts to improve on, but, like, it was good.
I thought, like, the whole ending speech, like the voiceover, without doing the multiple voiceovers and the thing, felt like that was a little bit much.
Yeah, I mean, I get it was very much, very Breakfast Clubby in a way.
I've never seen Breakfast.
Excuse me?
Sorry.
My word.
I'm deprived.
I enjoyed it, but there were a few things that I didn't enjoy.
Like what?
Okay. I really did not like the defeat of Pennywise. I thought it was very...
Power of friendship.
Yeah, it was, like, very, like, he's beaten through, like, the power of words and how words make you feel, and you have to make him believe that he's small. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Isn't that what they did with the first movie, though? They were like, we're not afraid of you.
Yeah.
And as soon as they weren't afraid of him, he couldn't do anything to them. So why didn't that hold true at the beginning of the movie? When they first remembered him, why didn't they remember to not be afraid?
I mean, for that, I think it could be answered, like, because they didn't have all of their memories, they didn't really remember the feeling of not being afraid.
But Pennywise, being afraid was the first feeling that they remembered when they picked up the phone.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah, I mean,
afraid.
that's why he had power over them, because
They forgot to
didn't-
not be afraid
yeah.
until they were kind of, I think, in the layer, I suppose, and facing him, and then they were like, power of friendship.
But then, I get it, because it's like, they used the same method in the first movie to defeat him in the second movie, so why didn't they defeat him for good in the first movie? Or is he still there? Because there's no hints of him not being defeated.
And this time the deadlights, spoilers, this time the deadlights kind of disintegrated. And, like, that was a very weird way to put in an origin story.
Origin story?
Yeah, of Pennywise, like, where he came from and whatnot. I just felt like they made Mike's character very much guiding kind of
Mike
character.
had a character?
Exactly.
Sick burn.
Like, everybody else had, like, these really detailed, like, they got stuck in all of these hallucinations that told you a lot about what they feared or what, or things from their past and things like that. But Mike, the closest he got was the burning door that was in the first movie.
Yeah.
That was his parents.
They got the same thing over and over. He never got any development through that. Or any, like, you didn't get any closure with it, I feel.
No, he, like everybody else, like, they defeated their kind of inner demons and they broke the illusions. But then Mike didn't really.
They had the whole, like, love triangle plotline between Bill and Bev and Ben. That's a lot of B's.
Yeah. It's the B triangle.
And I
Just let it
understand.
be.
I understand because, like, Ben was single and Bev was in a relationship, but it was abusive. So
left.
I can see why she would, like, even if she was still married, like, emotionally need someone who was kind to her. But Bill had a wife, and they never really had any falling apart from a small little argument, which is typical in relationships. And then you have all this sexual tension or, like, romantic scenes, and I'm just like,
And
both-
when they kissed, I was like, why isn't he saying, look, sorry, that's the past, I have a wife?
I'm very happy Bev ended up with Ben there. That was my
Yeah.
chip from the
My only
first movie.
problem with that was that Ben's character felt almost as undeveloped as Mike's. Did you notice that? Like,
he was kind of like just the romance.
Yeah, he was just there.
Yeah.
And, like, in the first movie, he was titular to figuring out what it was. But in this movie, like, even if you just look at his hallucinations and whatnot, there wasn't anything personal to them. Not really. It was just in the clubhouse and...
Yeah.
Like, what does that tell you?
It's like his whole character was just fat and in love with Bev.
Yeah.
And like, well, a lot of them got like this illusion when they were adults. He didn't really get anyone. He just remembered when like Pennywise pretended to be Bev.
Yeah, he didn't get an adult one. I noticed that too.
Yeah, Bowers just kind of felt like he was being built up, but he didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
And like, why did they have to show us the expositional stuff at the beginning, like when he first went back and got arrested?
I think that was to show that he didn't die, because I thought he had died in the first movie, right? Because they just showed him
I thought
in the
he did
sewer.
too.
I just feel like the way they did it was very disjointed because they'd already done the kind of ending of the first movie over, and then they'd moved into present day to show us what all of the people were doing, and I got a little bit lost there. And then they went back into the past to show us him, and then back into the future again. Like, I mean, the way that they transitioned with the balloon, I thought was nice, but it was just disjointing because there was nothing kind of connecting the others to him in the past at that moment.
Yeah.
Like, the transition into it was very abrupt, but the transition out was nice. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that
I
makes
agree.
sense. Yeah,
I
because
agree.
the transition in when it was like, it was all the bodies like being flushed out in that. Yeah, and then he was out. I thought he'd been revived to this current day.
Yeah, I just thought he hadn't aged, and I thought that would be a really interesting turn for the story.
Same.
I was like, what, this is going to go? And then it went into the insane asylum or whatever it was, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it was weird.
So what did you think of the movie as a whole?
I enjoyed it. It made me cry. There were some things that I think could have been improved.
Such as?
The ending. The way that Pennywise was killed, I thought was a bit, like, for lack of a better word, like, romantic and, like, hippy-dippy in a way. Like, not romantic as in, like, lovey-dovey, but, like, romantic as in, like, oh, we killed him with the power of friendship.
I couldn't really take it seriously because when he was all like...
He looked like a shriveled up balloon fetus baby.
His face looked like a pug. He was so sad. He was like looking around and I'm just like, he's just a pug.
I know, he looked so sad.
I was like, it's kind of cute.
I know. And he's got like the little hands, and they took his heart, and he was like, my heart. It was like,
I kind of felt bad for him.
I know. He was like, oh.
Like, I was like, low-key... the lights
Oh my god.
Are the doors locked?
Yes, the doors are locked.
That's gonna be in the vlog. Location change.
Now we're at a creepy old park in the middle of the night.
Yay.
Wait,
I forget what the question was.
so your favorite moment of the movie, favorite moment, least favorite moment, and main thoughts.
My favorite moment was when we see that Richie had a crush on Eddie. It's like, oh, so cute. I loved that a lot. I ship it. Richie and Eddie forever. My least favorite moment, I didn't like weird deflated balloon
Pug face.
Strange fetus looking tiny hands Pennywise. It was just like,
He's got baby hands.
he's got baby hands. It was just like weird. It didn't feel like it connected in a way, like beating him through the power of friendship, as I've said before. Like, it just didn't feel...
They're like Power Rangers.
I also didn't like the doctor person at the pharmacy.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Pennywise.
Same, but he's just a creep.
Yeah,
And I just didn't like seeing a pharmacy.
Fine.
PTSD.
Fair.
I get enough of that at work.
Yeah.
What are your overall thoughts?
I liked it. Not my favorite movie in the whole world. I'd watch it again, but I enjoyed it. Jake?
Well, I kind of want to like comment on some of the things that you said because it's
Okay,
more fun if we
go
can
on.
comment on like each other's reactions.
Sure.
Comment and build. Go for it.
Yes.
Like your
Feel
favorite
like
thing
so.
of being Richie and
Eddie.
Eddie? Yeah, that's their names.
Yes.
I like that, and that he didn't have to have like a whole like force coming out
Yeah,
moment. Like that's the way they did it.
I
'cause
seriously thought that when they were all hugging in the lake that he
yeah.
was gonna be like, guys,
I'm gay.
I'm gay and I love Eddie.
I feel like in that moment, everyone could tell it was hitting him the hardest.
Yeah.
So it was obvious that Eddie meant a lot to him.
Yeah, and they didn't need
Yeah.
to say anything.
Yeah, and he was the one that stayed with Eddie when everyone else was rushing off to save the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Eddie was always the one he like bullied the most throughout both movies.
Never grew out
gentle
of
teasing.
elementary school.
Yeah. Gentle friendship teasing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it was built up on.
yeah.
It didn't come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was like the defeating Pennywise by "We're not afraid of you anymore." Mm-hmm. Like I could kind of.
Well,
see...
this time it wasn't "I'm not afraid of you anymore." This time it was
Make
"You're a
him-
clown! You're a
Yeah.
clown!"
I mean, I thought they were going towards a different kind of direction, because he was always saying to the kids like, "Oh, no one likes me. No one wants to play with me," and I thought it would be something like, "Oh, if they don't pay attention to him, that would be a weakness." Like, I feel like it could have worked, but if they would have built up to it and foreshadowed it better.
Especially because his whole shtick is illusions and hallucinations.
Yeah.
So if you
Ignore it.
ignored the hallucination
And you weren't afraid of
and
it.
you weren't afraid of it, then it wouldn't have been able to hurt you, I assume. It's very unclear
Yeah.
at points.
Yeah.
So that probably would have worked if they just kind of ignored him and
Focus on Eddie.
focused on Eddie and said they weren't
sure.
afraid and all that kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would have been a much more, a less childish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Resolve?
felt quite
You're
juvenile.
It felt
Dumb
very
clown.
simple
Yeah.
and juvenile and like
It
how
felt
did
like
no one else figure this out in like thousands or millions of years?
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like they were just being a bunch of bullies.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of felt bad for him, because he's just like,
He's like,
oh, you guys don't like me?
And then they take his little heart and he's like,
No.
with his tiny little hand. He's like, oh.
And the sad little pouch.
Yeah.
When they took they took the heart and he was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
It was so cute. I shouldn't be thinking it was cute.
I know. This is why so many people have a crush on Pennywise.
What? People have a crush on Pennywise?
Oh my god, you don't know? Since the first movie, people are like in love with Pennywise because the guy who plays him is hot.
He does have those dance moves.
He does. Have
got the
those
moves
sweet
like
dance
Dragger.
moves. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, because the actor is hot, and so people are like, oh my god, I want Pennywise to fuck me. Seriously. People
Oh my
are
god.
in love with Pennywise and want to do the dirty. Do you want to talk about your favourite and least favourite and overall feelings now?
Okay, well, favorite, I'm just gonna go with the obvious part where it's just the little Pomeranian.
Oh, yeah,
And like
that was good.
not scary at all door.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the whole like the 3-door scenario of like scary, not scary, very, scary.
I would have gone straight for scary. I would have been like,
Yeah.
middle ground
Yeah.
is most likely to not kill me.
And not just, I like how like Richard was like, oh, they're trying to fuck with us. Of course, not scary is gonna be scary. But then I just like the whole puzzle, and then they were all just equally scary.
Yeah.
But the little puppy, it just sits, and it was adorable.
I was so worried that they were gonna like kill the puppy, and then it would turn out that like it wasn't a threat at all, and they just fucking killed a puppy. I was so worried that was gonna happen.
Well, like how they yelled at the little kid at the restaurant.
Yeah. What was your least favorite?
Was that the start of the movie? When like you had that gay couple, and then one of them just gets into a fight, because it's like, I just thought it was very forced and stupid to be like, oh hey, there's 4 people that look way tougher than me, all on a bridge, and they look like they want to beat me up. I'm gonna aggravate them. It just felt like the movie was like, was that in the books?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh.
were they a gay couple?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought that might have been a movie thing.
Yeah, I wasn't
It was
sure
in
if
the
it was like
books.
a modern thing to be like, oh, sympathy. Well, if it was in the books, but still, it was just like, just felt kind of forced.
Yeah,
Also,
I was
the movie has been like aged up time-wise.
Yeah.
So in the first movie, they were all, in the book, they were all kids in like the 50s, and then there were adults in the 80s.
Yeah.
And so to have the gay hate crime in the 80s, I feel would be more
fitting.
Yeah, because I mean, the 27 years later would be 2016, and so that, I mean, hate crimes still happen these days, but in 2016...
I mean, it's not even the fact that it was a hate crime or whatever. It was just the fact that it was just like, he was aggravating them when they were aggressive and dangerous.
Yeah.
It just felt like they were like, okay, character, we need you to get them to kill you, so act stupid.
I feel like at that point they kind of knew each other, and he might have been sick of them picking on him and his boyfriend, and so he was like, you know what, fuck ya. And then they just kind of...
I can understand him being like sick of like people in general, but like one of them say like, oh, welcome to Derry? So I thought they were new to
Yeah,
the
like
area.
his boyfriend was the one that grew up in Derry, so it made it sound like he was just visiting.
I think that they were from like New York or something, so that's why he had that New Yorker mentality of like, I can aggravate you and I'll be fine, kind of thing.
It makes sense, I guess.
But then the boyfriend was from Derry. I think that he went back there for a job or something. I don't know. I feel like it's explained more in the book, but I can't remember.
I thought when they first like opened up on them, like I really liked their introduction, with him giving the toy to the young girl. I thought it was a nice introduction, and for some reason I thought that it was one of the like main characters.
Same.
Yeah, I thought they were both the main characters.
I was like, has someone gotten together?
Yeah, I know. Same. And your overall feelings?
Oh yes, overall feelings. It was fun. I feel like there were a couple of things that could have like gotten rid of. Like just Mike as a character.
Mike should have died instead of Stanley.
He could have been improved so much.
Like, I didn't like. It was a very long movie, but I didn't feel like bored once. I didn't feel like, oh, when's it gonna end?
Same.
But at the same time, I also felt like there could have been a bit more development into the stuff.
Same.
Like, I felt like there was some stuff missing. Like,
Yeah.
it went to all the characters doing, like, finding their tokens or whatever. And then it was just, okay, now we're gonna fight Pennywise.
I agree.
Like, the Bowers thing, yeah, that's the thing I feel like it should have just been, like, not adapted from the book if they were just gonna, like, do nothing with it. Or just built upon more.
Yeah, I agree.
And, yeah, it was fun. It wasn't...
It was enjoyable.
I also thought more characters would die.
Same. Glad no one did. I was very attached to everyone. Except Mike. Oh my god. Favorite moment, least favorite moment, overall feelings. We're going to be here for a while, I feel.
I think my favorite moment was when Eddie died. Don't be angry at me. That I just really liked the way that they did it, because they had him, like, everyone else went off to fight the big bad Pennywise, or little bad Pennywise.
Little sad Pennywise.
Little sad Pennywise. And then Richie stayed behind to take care of him, and then Richie saw that the others needed a little bit more help and a little bit more belief.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So he left, and as soon as he left, I knew that Eddie was going to die
Yeah.
And it's
while
like,
he was gone. And then, so just when they came back, and to see that it actually happened, and it wasn't going to be a happy ending for everybody, I was like, this is, that is a good kind of scripted scene, in my
and it's
opinion.
like, Pennywise was right, he did die alone.
Anyway, but I did like just the whole composition of that, how, like, the fact that it was as soon as Richie left, that's when he died.
I also feel like it's kind of, this might be strange to say, but it's kind of realistic, because, like, in my life, I have found that, like, when you're around someone who is ready to go, when you leave, that's when they go.
That same with my grandmother.
Yeah.
As soon as my mother left her side,
Yeah.
like less than an hour.
Same.
And then it's, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird that they put in such a realistic death, in a way, paired with such an unrealistic and childish scene.
Yeah.
And that's the same kind of problem that the first movie had, was that, like, it was these different tones that didn't quite fit together. And, like, that's what I noticed with this movie as well. It's like, it switched too many times. Yeah.
I was noticing with, like, the score, like, the music, it felt at times like a different movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was romantic music, and then there was just, like, dramatic, bam, 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 you know, and I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling.
Yeah, like, I thought that quite a few bits of the soundscape were really good, and they were really well woven, and they really set the scene, but the problem was that there were too many different styles within, like, different genres within the movie, so the music kept having to switch genres as well.
Yes, yeah, it felt like you don't quite know how to feel, because it's like, well, we were just sad, but now we're happy and we're kissing, and it's like, well, now we're sad again. What?
It's like, it's the same problem the first movie had, but it was worse in this movie. I feel like. The
kind of
first
more
movie,
noticeable.
Yeah, the first movie, the biggest, like, switch that kept being pulled was, like, tween drama and CGI. But in this one, not only was it between, like, drama and CGI, but it was also between romance and happy scenes and sad scenes, and my main critique of the film would be that it was just, the beats were all wrong, like the story beats. They were sometimes they were too fast, and then too much of an emotional whiplash was attached to them in order to connect. So it made it hard to connect to the characters, because it was just one thing, then another, then another, then another, and it didn't really flow very well as an overall story.
Yeah. I have to agree, but at the same time, I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm the critical one.
It's true.
I noticed these things.
It's true.
I mean, I kind of like the genre of, like, mixing these kinds of genres together. I can get what you mean, like, a lot of the horror scenes to me felt kind of funny.
Yeah.
They were very funny.
Like, Stanley's
old woman?
head yeah. Like, he just runs naked across the kitchen. It's just...
So that was your favourite.
Yeah, Eddie dying was sounds so sad.
I mean, understandable, but at the same time, my heart. And least favourite?
Least favorite scene.
The whole movie?
Least favorite scene. I don't know. There were so many different scenes, and they all.
that you hated.
No, it's just like I just didn't like how they didn't really connect properly.
Yeah.
I felt like the scene with Bowers. Bowers, sorry, I've got Stranger Things on the mind. With the bully Bowers.
Yeah.
Coming, like, and getting arrested. I feel like that was completely unnecessary. So they could have cut it.
Speaking of Bowers, it's like when Ben looked out the window and Bowers, like, pulls a knife out of his chest where his heart should be, like, so he's undead. They did nothing with that.
And then what did they do with their body after Eddie killed? Was it Eddie? Killed him.
Oh no, it
was fucking Richie, yeah.
Richie.
They just left it there.
They didn't. There were a few continuity errors.
And I get what you mean by, like, the scenes didn't really flow together. Like, when each character was going to do their, like, get their treasure or whatever and have their own adventure, kind of felt like I was watching, like, a series of, like, different episodes.
Yeah, it wasn't connected at all. I don't know. And, like, I feel like they spent way too long in the beginning reintroducing us to characters. Then they had a whole bunch of disjointed scenes in the middle to show us bonding and having a lot of flashbacks because everybody really liked the kids. And they're like, we want the kids, but then the kids were kind of just forced into it. and so it lost a bit of its charm. And then they rushed to get to the final fight with absolutely no preparation and without explaining exactly what was going to go on.
Yeah, they literally just stumbled there because
Of Bill.
Bill was going there.
The main thing you have...
The main thing that I have a problem with thematically is because Pennywise is all about, I keep saying it, but it's true. He's about hallucinations and illusions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to be afraid of a villain in a horror movie who is literally just an illusion, essentially. You know, so every time he started doing his tricks, I was like, easiest way to get out of this would be just to do what they did in the first movie and say, I don't believe in this, and close my eyes and walk away, kind of thing. And every time he did stuff, it was like there was no telling what was real and what was not. And I in my head, I was kind of comparing it to the Spider-Man Far From Home. Did you guys see that one? So basically, that one's all about illusions as well, and they use it as like self-deception versus like being able to see past yourself and whatnot, and see inside and all that kind of stuff. But like basically, this guy has illusion tech who's using to fool the world into thinking he's a superhero in the place of all the Avengers kind of dispersing after Endgame. And so what they did really well was they had like a solid physical backing behind the illusion.
Yeah.
So that the way that they played with it was that even though what you're seeing was an illusion, there was still like physical feedback. So if you saw someone punch you, you were still getting hit by something. It was like a robot, like a little robot thingies, projector thingies. So you'd still be getting hit by the robot projector kind of thing. So the illusion was playing with your senses, but there was still an inherent danger there. Whereas in it, when they figure out that it's an illusion, or they figure out what's making the illusion, like when they break the mirror, all of the physical and real ramifications just disappear.
So yeah, like if Pennywise technically kills you, would you die? Because you believe you're dead.
Yeah, and they don't explain the parameters of it either. They don't explain, well, if everything he does, or if he can't hurt you if you don't believe in him, or if most of the things he does are illusions, how is he doing the real harm as well? Like, how do you tell what is real and what's not?
Like biting those kids' faces off and that.
Yeah. And so I feel like they got so caught up with the special effects that they didn't quite explain the rules of the story world properly.
I kind of took it as just like whenever Pennywise wants to materialize and physically do stuff, he can.
Yeah, then why doesn't he materialize and do stuff within the illusions? Because the prey would get away a lot less often.
I think a part of it, because like the little kid in the Hall of Mirrors and little Vicky under the bleachers, like they died right away. Like Georgie in the first movie died right away. I think he likes to pick specific people and just play with them. It very much felt like a predator playing with its food.
But if he was really playing with them, it meant he could get serious at any time.
Yeah, that's how I kind of interpreted it.
And like, but if he could get serious at any time, why didn't he let them get so far? What was the purpose of gathering them again if he had no real plan of what to do with them when they came back, and if they were a real threat to him?
I think maybe like his plan was just to like.
What a wonderful plan.
Better than I'm like my heart.
I know. So smart.
I think the plan was just get them all together and kill them off one by one, like how he did get to kill Eddie. But
because he got to kind of corner them. Maybe he thought that he was going to kill them in the moments where they were alone, but then they did the whole "you're not real," and he was like, "Well, then I guess you know I have to go."
I feel like he underestimated them, and like I don't think he ever thought that they would actually defeat him.
Well, they kind of did it once already. I mean,
yeah.
And that was 27 years ago. They've had 27 years to learn.
Except they didn't. They forgot.
Oh, I want to change my favourite moment, actually.
Okay.
When she's talking to the old lady, and the old lady's just, like, smiling, like, for a prolonged period of time, like... Because I feel like that may have been Pennywise, like, trying to act like a normal person, but he doesn't understand social cues, so he just smiles for a long time, just going, yes, this is what we do. I'm a human, right? Hello, fellow humans.
Okay, so your least favourite moment is the entire movie. What are your overall feelings?
I think I've gotten those across.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
No, like it had some good moments in it. So like I said, Eddie's death.
Stanley's death.
That's about it.
Stanley's death was heartbreaking. I loved it. Yeah, it had some good writing and some good kind of imagery in it. But I think it just got so lost in the
CGI.
Yeah, and in the pacing that they set was just all wrong for it.
I think that they tried with the CGI to be very scary, and it ended up just
Fun.
like the storyline suffered.
I feel like they put too much effort into the CGI. They gave it too much screen time.
I mean, I think that's like the difficulty of having like illusions as a horror, because like the thing that's like really scary about monsters in horror movies is if you don't show them, because it's always the unknown. So once you see them, like they're not scary. So
Totally. I think our final question for the night is, what would you rate this movie out of 5?
Out of 5.
Oh, out of 5.
I would probably give it like a 3.
3? Average.
Average. It was average.
Cool.
Want to go to 4?
Yeah, cool.
Like
A little bit above
I
average.
know you like 4 out of 5 is like pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah?
it's like
Pretty good.
above average, not perfect.
It's
Like-
like I would watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I liked it. I enjoyed it. Like there were problems, but like
You enjoyed it, and that's...
I like having drama and comedy and horror all together.
Yeah.
Like I know they don't really fit thematically, but I don't really see it as a horror movie at all. That's why I enjoyed like. It's not a horror movie in my opinion.
Like I'm okay with mixing genres, and that can work really well sometimes. I just feel like they didn't handle it in like a smooth enough way.
I feel like when they were like, "Oh hey Bill, everyone loves your books, but your endings are awful," and even Stephen King says that. I thought it was just like meta about you guys aren't gonna like the ending of this movie.
Yeah, nice. I would give this movie... I'm tossing up between a 3.5 and a 4, because, like, I enjoyed it, but, you know, when you start to get critical and you start to get analytical of it, I do, you know, have gripes with it, but at the end of the day, I enjoyed it.
Were you just gonna...
I was going to swear.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I would watch it again, but I also don't really feel that it was horror. It was too funny.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there was comedy in it. There was actual, like, funny lines in it, not just, like, the CGI or the, like, sad little deflated Pennywise. Like,
Or
there
the
was...
cute little puppy.
I know. There was actual, like, funny moments in it. It felt more like a comedy with jump scares than a horror movie.
Yeah.
There was so much swearing too. I mean, that could have just been me, but I don't really swear that much myself.
Yeah.
So seeing it like every couple of lines, I was like, you don't need this swear word.
It felt
here.
kind of like
They're trying to be
70s
hip and
American.
Cool. Yeah, they're trying to be hip and cool, but it wasn't.
I think that we're done here, my dudes.
done.
It's nearly 2 in the morning, and
We've got a long drive.
yeah, and I'm pretty tired.
You probably fell asleep on the way.
Probably. But hey, at least I didn't sleep in the movie.
And let's have a shout out to our driver who has to stay awake the whole way, driving all of us home and back to her home.
Yeah,
I can't even sleep in tomorrow.
I'm ready to go to bed, baby. It's 2:02
2:02 sounds like a good time.
the morning. In the morning. And
Sorry.
I've been assaulted.
Your hair. Your hair has been assaulted.
My feelings have been assaulted. 2 peanuts walk into a bar. One of them is assaulted.
Two Adams walk into a bar. The bartender asks if they want a drink, and one of them says no. I'm positive. I don't want a drink. It's a positive and negative.
Nice.
A man walks into a bar with a piece of asphalt under his arm, and he says to the bartender, 1 drink please, and 1 for the road. A man walks into a bar with a jumper cable, and the bartender says, I'll serve you, but just don't start anything.
Do you look these up?
Sometimes, yes.
You memorize them for the perfect occasion.
Yeah, there's one that I feel like, I don't know whether you'll find it funny or you'll think that it's offensive, but there's one that's, a dyslexic man walks into a bra.
Oh!
That was good.
I didn't come up with that, I read it online, okay?
Oh, my dog.
But yes, thank you to Kim and Jake for joining me tonight, and for the bants and the rants. Queen, that was awesome. And thank you for being a friend. That's a song.
I'm not fighting an evil clown with you, though.
Big one.
I'm not fighting an evil clown with you, though.
Well, you're clearly a terrible friend.
What kind of friend doesn't find an evil clown?
Yeah, the fuck?
Stanley.
Too soon.
Eddie.
Too soon.
Too true.
Oh, God. Anyway. Yes, thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it was helpful for you in some way. And I don't have an outro, so I'm going to say bye.
Bye.
See you soon. Next time.
Next
on
time.
Lily's Late Night Adventures. Fun.
Late night, Lily's late liaisons.
That sounds even worse.
That sounds a bit...
Lily's...
Kinky.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello there.
Lily's late...
Lily's horror-filled.
Lily's horrible histories.
That's taken.
Lily's ready for bed. Bye.
Bye.